What amp rating jumper cable should you buy? Stop. Don't trust the amp ratings. Before I explain why you shouldn't trust those amp ratings, let us do a test. I've connected one end of the cable to the battery, and the other end to the car terminal respectively. The positive on car terminal is now linked to the positive on battery terminal, and the same is done for the negative terminal. This will simulate a jump start on a flat battery. These set of cables are commercially sold cables on market. They are rated 600 amps, but I've seen similar jumpers rated 2000 amps. Let's try starting the car. As you can see, there isn't even a slightest response from the starter. We'll now try these pairs of heavy-duty jumper cables. These cables are twice as long. If the quality of the cables are the same, it will be much more unlikely that the car will start. However, the quality of the clamps are better and the cable cross-section is bigger. Now let's see if there is any difference. How about that? It started up. What I'm going to do now is to check the voltage drop across the cable. This will show how effective the wires are. A high voltage drop means the resistance is high in the wires, resulting in low cable efficiency. We're only getting readings of less than 5 millivolts. If there is anyone who is wondering why the car is still running even when the battery is disconnected here, that is because the car is powered by the alternator when the engine is running. This is also a method to troubleshoot if your battery is dead because of an alternator malfunction. Now, let's reconnect the cheap jumper cable to see what voltage drop we get. I saw a reading as high as 140 millivolts there. Although 140 millivolts might not sound like a lot, it is actually performing 2,700% worse than the heavy-duty cable. Also bear in mind that while idling, a car like this only generates around 30 amp of current. That is far from the 300 to 500 amps of possible current during startup. This explains why there is such a stark difference between both type of cables when testing the startup a while ago. After cutting the wires to the required length, strip the ends of both wires. These wires are thick 35 mm square copper wire with double layers insulation which can withstand high currents. Over here I have two types of metal lugs. Can you guess which is the pure copper lugs? Next, the copper connector lugs need to be crimped on the stripped wire ends with a special crimping tool. For those who don't have such tool on hand, you might get by with pliers and a hammer. However, they give inconsistent crimps which either result in poor connection or lugs wastage for every failed crimps. These cables are also soldered for better connection surface and durability. Finally, fasten the screws and bolts for the connectors to the clamp's body.